Namaste. Today we are going to start on our back, actually. So, rolling down onto your back. Soles of the feet together. Let the knees fall out to the side. You can add blocks underneath the outside of the hips or outside of the thighs if you wish to support. You can have the feet nice long diamond. You can have the heels tight to the bum for a shorter diamond. If it gets too much at any point, feel free. Just straighten the legs. Just a normal Shavasana here. There's an option. Where possible, soles of the feet together, let the knees fall out to the side. If your knees are falling off to one side, just shuffle the feet across. So if your right knee is higher, for example, shuffle your feet across to the left so you get a nice even stretch through each adductor. It may not be central through the line, but you're getting an even stretch. Arms down the side of the body where comfortable. Adjust the shoulders, adjust the hips to suit. Closing the eyes down. Just taking a nice deep inhale in through the nose. Taking a few moments just to settle into the space. Just explore where the breath goes to as you inhale nice and deep. And sigh out through the mouth whenever you're ready. Have a nice deep inhale in through the nose. Just expanding the lungs to your capacity, nobody else's. And let's release the sigh out through the mouth. Just to release any tension from the body. One more nice deep inhale in through the nose. Just exploring where the breath is moving to. As you sigh out, just release any mental or emotional tension. And just surrender control of the breath. Just allow the body to regulate. Body takes control of the breath, just to allow your awareness just to fall into the sensations that come with the breath. Maybe the airflow in and out of the nose, in and out of the throat, and that little space between the airways or through the airways. Maybe the breath moving in and out of the body, feeling it expand and contract. Maybe that pressure into the shoulders, into the back. It may even be the sensation of the clothes moving on the skin as you breathe. Checking your awareness. Those thoughts like to draw you away. Just see the thought, acknowledge it, and just release, coming back to the breath or the sensations around the breath. No right or wrong here. We're just feeling, just being. Just taking the awareness into any points of contact between you and the floor or your mat. The back of the arms, back of the hands, back of the head, and through the shoulders, the hips or the bum, outside of the feet maybe. Just feeling into the sensations, the temperature, the pressure, into the skin. And going through the skin into the muscle. Some areas maybe we feel sensation into the bone. move up away from these points of contact. Explore where these sensations, this pressure eases, the temperature changes. Maybe that heaviness turns into lightness as we move up through the body. Maybe we've got some aches or pains we need to be aware of. Maybe the body's nice and soft and relaxed. And there might be points of tension we can observe without judgment. And just checking your awareness. If your knees are still out to the side, just take the hands down to the outside of the thighs. Just assist the legs back together. It's quite intense stretch. The legs are straight, just bringing the feet back towards the body. Bring the knees into the body, give yourself a little hug, maybe holding the knees, maybe wrapping the arms around and bringing the chin or forehead towards the knees. Soft into the hips, soft into the thigh. Gently release. And roll off to the left side. You might need some props here as you come up onto all fours. I'm personally going to use a bolster here just for my right hand. You can use blocks, cushions, a stack of cushions, maybe a couple of blocks or something. It's just so we've got support through the hand. We're going to be focusing on releasing the thighs and the hips here. So the more stable we are, the more we can soften into the thighs and the hips and the groin area. So just having something to bring the floor up towards the hands. I mean, you can come this way if you wish, if you prefer that. As long as you're nice and stable and you can soften. So just allowing the body weight to fall forward. We want as much of an angle on that back leg as possible so we can get a nice angle and stretch into that hip flexor and quad. Just soften the neck. You might want to keep the eyes open but the gaze soft off the tip of the nose. Again, it just helps with stability and balance. We're just allowing the hips to fall forward. You may feel it in the back of the right leg, into the compression into the bum. Maybe a nice stretch across the front of that right quad, hip flexor. Could be a nice stretch down the back of that left leg into the left butt cheek. Or compression into that left quad and hip flexor. Some people may even feel a stretch through the inner thighs, up into the groin. Whatever we're doing, wherever we're feeling it, take the awareness there, soften into it. Release any resistance, so try and release any muscular contraction in those areas where you're feeling the stretch or compression. Your awareness, softening into the thighs, softening into the hips. Tension is going to build. And Surrender into that vulnerability. Find strength there. Support where needed. So deep into the pose and we're fighting it and resisting, we're too deep. Ease off just a fraction. Seconds. Nice and gentle. Shifting the weight back, be slow, be gentle. There's no rush in transitions. Taking that left foot back, you might want to drop back into a little child's pose just for a breath or two. We're not going to hang out too long. Might be that you walk the hands forward and release into a little cobra or up dog. This depends which hip or which thigh was activated the most there. It's going to be different for all of us. And then coming back to all fours. Going to bring that right foot forward. Again, get that slope on the back leg. It's a nice lunge forward. Maybe the hands are either side of the foot. Maybe we're bringing our support into that left hand. You can just use that right arm going across, just as a little anchor point there. So you're going to add the block here. Just to raise it up just a little bit for me. So just observe how one side is different to the other. What's available to you. Soften the hips forward. Relax that right quad. You know, that right hip flexor deep in here. Sometimes that contracts and hardens to resist the stretch. Just be mindful into these areas of sensation. Sometimes it's the opposing muscle to the stretch that engages to resist and lift out of it a little bit. So just be mindful. Explore without judgment. In your awareness, releasing any resistance, and not to fidget. Soften into the hips and the thighs. Allowing the law of density to do the work. Pull you into the earth. lifting the hips and the weight back. Taking that right foot back, maybe softening into your child's pose, maybe finding or sliding forward into a little cobra or an upward dog, just opening up the front of the body possibly. When you're ready, running your way back onto your back. Nice little rebound pose, nice anatomical position. Just for 60 seconds. A little space between the feet. A little space between the hands and the body, closing the eyes down. Maybe the awareness drops into the body as you observe as it settles. Maybe you just set your little drop of consciousness and let it fall back into the vast ocean of consciousness. To the body. And roll off to the left side and come up to your bum. You're going to take the legs nice and wide where possible. If you've got any knee injuries or recent operations on your knees, you can explore this pose, but if it is too intense on your knees, bring the feet closer together and come into caterpillar, rolling forward. If your feet fall out to the side in caterpillar, maybe use a strap around the feet to keep them more neutral. Okay, if they're falling out to the side, we're not really going to get into the hamstrings. Okay, and that's what we're aiming for. I normally do caterpillar because we get dragonfly, so we get into the hamstrings, but we also get the bonus of the adductors. And my feet, I've got great external hip rotation, so my feet fall out to the side. Some people's naturally stay like that. When I relax, they fall. So this dragonfly is much better for me personally for the hamstrings, but it's always an option to do caterpillar, legs straight out in front. If you have trouble leaning forward, especially in caterpillar, it can be quite tough to just relax into this pose. Got a thin block or a thin cushion or a blanket, fold up a few times. Sit onto the front edge, so you want your bony bit of your bum just off the front edge of the block. So it tips anteriorly, tilts your pelvis forward. That creates a little bit of space. We don't have to get our chest and our head to the floor. You know, if we're here, perfectly fine, just soften in. As long as we've got a little bit of tension, and raising the bum off the floor will intensify the stretch down the back of the leg, okay, in either pose, caterpillar or dragonfly. Today I'm doing dragonfly. If your elbows don't reach the floor, you can always, again, stack the blocks, pillows, cushions. You can bring the floor up to you, so you've got some sort of support to take some of the tension out. Just be mindful that the longer you're here, the more you're going to soften into the pose. So you might want to be able to, you know, example, if you're here and you start to soften, you can take the elbows wider. That will allow you to drop deeper into the pose. Okay. So, nicely set up, wherever you are. Do that. Just rounding the back, softening the neck, release the shoulders. Okay? So through the feet, doesn't matter if one foot's sticking up and the other one's falling out to the side, it doesn't really matter. Not in your dragonfly. There'll be lots of different epicenters here. Back of the legs, inner legs, anywhere up through the back, the shoulders, the neck, back of the head maybe even. So just soften, explore. When you find resistance, contraction or mental resistance from thoughts, observe it, acknowledge it, and release it. to your body, softening into that body. That practice of observation, acknowledgement and release. We're using the body as a tangible source for the brain to train. You can take that away into everyday life when we see stress coming up, or anger coming up, or frustration or anxiety. The brain's already prepared to observe, see it, acknowledge it, and then release it. So what we train the brain to do on the mat using the body, we can take away and apply it to different aspects of our life. Nice and gently. Pressing into the hands, walking the hands back, coming up to sit. Maybe using the hands behind the legs behind the hands. Draw the legs back together. So gently, take the hands back. It might be nice to drop the head back slowly. And drop the knees off to the right, back to the centre and off to the left. So nice little windscreen wiper with the knees. We were doing a much more intense version of this in a minute. Good. Maybe a little wiggle of the jaw feels nice. And then walking the feet down to the end of the mat. It's going to feel really nice releasing the back, the spine, the shoulders, the head to the floor. Nice little rebound pose here, nice anatomical position. Soften the body. Soften the mind. Bringing the awareness back to your body. Rolling off to the left side. Moving your way up to seated again. A half shoelace we are, because we're working with the hamstrings today mainly, as well as the hips, but the two go hand in hand. We're going to bring the right ankle over just above that left knee. It might be that you stay in a bit of a figure four here, depends how open your hips are. It might be that you're able to shuffle the knee across the knee. I'll do it from that angle, so it's a little bit more crossed, knee over knee, but you might want to keep the figure four, okay? So it's the shins across the leg. If it's available, maybe that right foot comes back towards the left hip, okay? If it's available. Just separate the butt cheeks. Does open up the hamstring, it's not just a weird thing that I do. Again, if you know you've got trouble, like if you're here and you're really engaging your core, you're going to hold on to here and you're going to pull yourself forward, get your little block, get something so you can just perch on top of, but your bony bit of your bum is off the front edge. It's no good sitting on top of it completely. It's not going to make any difference. You want the bony bit off the front edge, which is going to help just slightly tip the pelvis forward a little bit. It's going to intensify through the back of that left leg, so be mindful. And then softening, rounding the back. Some people put their hands on their legs. I do find that having your hands down the side of the leg is more beneficial, but if you have to, it's not an issue. You may find that you drop off to the right slightly. Now, if you want to support something, a bolster maybe underneath that right thigh to stop yourself rolling all the way off, might be worth it. But it doesn't matter to soften off to the right a little bit, just a bit. As long as you're not engaging to hold your body in any sort of position, we're good. If you're really not feeling anything at all down the back of that left leg, you can put a block underneath the heel or a block underneath the bum. Which will intensify the stretch down the back of that left leg. Okay. Maybe feeling quite a lot in your right hip, your right thigh, the outside gallbladder meridian line. It could be the back for the bladder meridian line. It could be the inner thigh of that right leg for your spleen, liver and kidney meridian line. Wherever you are, soften. Release the spine, release the shoulders, release the neck. Softening the jaw, softening the cheeks, softening the fingers and the toes. And gently. Spinning away from the floor. And crossing the legs. Maybe a little gentle, either wave of the feet. Sometimes it's nice to release. Maybe a little bounce of the knees. I will add as well, while we're in this little transition, if you're really struggling still to fold forward, you can actually put your back, slide your bum up to a sofa, a bed, a wall, anything that will support the lower back. So it's just holding you there, so you can just soften around, okay? It's not a competition who can get closest, but I know sometimes it's really difficult to get forward, so having something behind a wall or a bed or something is really good just to help support, so you can soften the shoulders and soften the neck and relax the belly at the same time. So left ankle across the right knee. See if we can slide left knee across over the top of the right knee. Maybe the foot stays as a figure four. Maybe we take that left foot back towards the right hip. It doesn't have to be anywhere near it. Some of us are super supple and we can. Some of us are more human. Everybody's human in this physical body, aren't we? And then just round, soften the back, soften the shoulders, soften the neck. Again, maybe softening a little bit, you're falling off to the left, just a fraction, it's fine. It's not an alignment class. Explore the shoulders, explore the back. Soften into any sensations. The softer we are, the more we're going to feel it in this physical body. While we're on this plane. In your awareness, back to the body. Release any frustration if you're being distracted. Practice with acceptance, practice with gratitude. And gently. Pulling away from the floor, unraveling the back, uncrossing them. Maybe just a gentle little bounce of the knees, maybe a little wave of the feet. If it feels good to release. Shifting the hips forward or rolling down onto your back. Nice little rebound pose, anatomical position here, a little space between the feet, a little space between the hands and the body. Closing the eyes now. Bringing the awareness back to the body. Just taking the hands either side of the hips, palm face down here. Adjust the shoulders, rounding the shoulders away, so flattening through the back. Maybe actually walk the feet back in towards the bum. We're just going to press into the feet gently, just to lift the hips and just flatten the lower back towards the floor. Now we've got a natural lumbar arch, so it doesn't matter if it pops back up again as we walk our feet away. Okay, but what we want to try and do here is engage the core, suck the belly button to the spine, pushing the spine towards the floor. Now we've got that natural lumbar arch, so I'm not saying it has to be in contact with the floor all the time, but we're just engaging these stomach muscles, these abdominal muscles, pulling them into the floor, towards the floor. Best way to describe that is suck the belly button towards the spine, spine into the floor. Okay? If the back arches, it's okay. Try and push down into the back, into the floor. Okay, so that's nice abdominal engagement. You're shortening the front of the body, which prevents that slack lumbar arch. Okay, strengthen the core, shorten the front of the body, flatten through the back. So hands either side of the hips will help. If you wish, you can put the hands onto the belly and just feel any engagement that's going on. We're going to point the toes, both feet. Keep the feet nice and rigid. Lots of toe pointing here, engaging the calves, the shins, the knees, the thighs, into the hip flexors is what we're going to be working up into the lower abdominals here. Going to inhale right foot, just 6 inches off the floor. Suck the belly button to spine, spine into the floor. If you notice instantly that you've arched your back, just engage, pull that belly back down. Breathe, feed the body. Going to fire up our Agni. We've got the cool of Yin, and now we're definitely going to have the hot of Yang. Okay. It's going to be a little bit more Hatha than Vinyasa. It's not going to be very dynamic flow. Right foot down to the floor. Take that left foot up to the sky. It's more Hatha, pose to pose. Belly button to spine, spine into the floor. Nice core engagement here, abdominal engagement. Breathe. The fire needs feeding, fire needs oxygen. Breathe into your solar plexus. Breathe into that Agni fire in the core. Good. Release the foot down. Keep those legs nice and engaged. Nice rigidity through the legs is key. Zip the belly button to spine, spine into the floor. Lift the feet 6 inches, both of them. Breathe. You can feel that lumbar arch arching. Belly button to spine, spine into the floor. Shakes are good. Breathe. Feed the fire. Exhale, release. Feet to the floor, soften the body. Nice big breath in to feed the body. Nice release inside to cleanse. Nice big breath in. Nice release inside to cleanse. Toes together, lock the legs. Inhale, right foot up, 45 degrees. Belly button to spine, spine into the floor. Feel that engagement. Don't take it literally. Exhale, lower the foot down to hover. Inhale, going back up, 45 degrees. Exhale, lower down to hover. Nice engagement through the core. Inhale up, 45. Good. Keep that leg nice and locked. Exhale down, hover. Inhale up, 45. Good. Exhale, lower to hover. Inhale, up 45. Well done. Lower down to hover on your exhale. Hold. 2, 1. And release. Nice and easy with one leg. Left leg up. Inhale, raise. Point the toes. Exhale down to hover. Inhale up to raise. 45 degrees. Not to the ceiling, to the corner of the roof and wall. Lower down on your exhale. Inhale, raising up. 45 degrees. Exhale, lower down. Keep that core engaged. Abdominals to the floor. Inhale up. Exhale down. Good. One more here. Inhale up. Keep that right leg nice and engaged. Nice rigidity through the body. Exhale down to hover. 3, 2, 1. And release. Well done. Core engaged. Belly button to spine. Spine towards the floor. Both feet together. Inhale, 45 degrees. Lift. If it's too much, bend the knees. Exhale, lower down to hover. Keep that core engaged, spine to the floor. Inhale up, 45 degrees. Good. Exhale, under control. Again, bend the knees if it's too much. Work up to it. Inhale up. Yoga's nothing more than a practice. Exhale, lower down. Feed the fire. Keep breathing. Inhale, going up. Bend the knees if you need. Be kind. Exhale, lower down. Good. Inhale, raise up. Good. Belly button to spine, spine into the floor as you lower to hover. 2, 1, and release. Well done. Soften the whole body. Nice big breath in to feed the body. Nice sigh out to it. Nice big breath in to feed. And nice release inside to cleanse. Well done. Point the toes, lock the legs, engage the core, belly button to spine, spine towards the floor. Inhale, right foot straight to the sky, nice and high. So this is a nice release down the back of the hamstring. You may feel it more if you flex your foot, but for here, we're pointing, core engagement. Exhale, lower down to hover. Inhale up, toes to sky. Exhale down. You need to bend the knee. Inhale, take the foot up. Exhale, lower to hover. Working with your breath, inhale up. Exhale down. Again, nice and easy with one foot. Inhale, going up. Keep that core engagement. This is where the work starts. Okay, hover. 2, 1, and release. If you're not engaging the core with one leg, you're going to struggle with 2 legs. So keep that focus. Inhale, left foot up to the sky. Point the toes. Good. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, raise up. Exhale down to hover. Keep that core engagement. Feel it through the hands. Inhale, raising up. Exhale down. Mine's a little bit soft actually. I can't feel a lot. Inhale, raise up. Point the toes. Exhale down to hover. That heel's not touching the floor. Inhale up to the sky. Nice engagement. Core and quad. Lower through. Hip flexors working. One more because I lost count. Inhale up to the sky. Exhale down to hover. 2, 1. And release, well done. And both toes together, little push here. Belly button to spine, spine into the floor. Keep that core engagement. We're going to inhale, both feet up. If it's too much, bend the legs. Exhale, lower down to hover. Core engagement, you're going to feel it here. Inhale, raise up. Good. Exhale, down to hover, under control. Inhale, raise up. If you bend the knees, it will be easy. Exhale, down. Yoga's a practice, it's just a process. Inhale, going up. Good. Exhale down, hover. One more up, inhale, up we go. Well done. Exhale to hover. 2, 1, and release. Well done. Soften the whole body. Nice big breath into feet. Nice release inside to cleanse. Nice big breath into feet. Nice release inside to cleanse. We're going to stretch the arms up overhead. Maybe just taking one set of fingers in the other set of fingers. It doesn't matter how you hold your hands, but nice extension, tips of fingers down to tips of toes. We're just going to work the lower half of the body. So as we exhale, we're going to bring the knees in. We're going to keep the toes together, pull the knees out to the side. Maybe the hips curl off the floor, so we're working our upper abs. Stand feet away from the body, not to the floor. Exhale, tuck. Bring the knees in, take the knees out to the side, but keep the toes together. Maybe the hips curl up. Inhale, lengthen. Good. Exhale, tuck. Rounding the back if it's available, tailbone coming up. Doesn't matter if it's not. Again, progress. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring the knees in, out to the side, keep the toes together. Good. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, one more, tuck. Inhale to lengthen and hover. 2, 1, and release. Well done. Upper half of the body. So keep the legs nice and engaged, toes pointed. Extend, lengthen through the body as you inhale. As you exhale, we're lifting the shoulders and bring the hands up above the hips. Okay? So just curling the shoulders. Now we're working the upper abs. Inhale, extend or lengthen. Good. Exhale, tuck. Hands come above the hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tuck. Good. Inhale, lengthen. We're not doing a full sit-up, it's just little crunches. Exhale to tuck. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to tuck. Good. Inhale, lengthen. And release. Soften the body. Keep the arms up overhead. We're going a little bit deeper. Nice breath in through the nose. Nice release inside. Nice breath in. Nice release inside. So toes together, nice length through the body. Point the toes, extend, or lengthen through to the hands. As you inhale, nice long stretch. As you exhale, we're doing feet or lower and upper body. So hands come through to meet the feet. That's why the knees go out to the side. Little crunch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tuck. Hands through to toes. Inhale, lengthen. Good. Exhale, tuck. Hands through to toes. Inhale, lengthen. Feel the burn, feel that fire. Exhale, tuck. And breathe into it. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tuck. Good. Inhale, lengthen and hover. 2, 1, and release. Well done. Nice big breath in to feed the body. Nice release inside. Nice big breath in. Nice release inside. Good. One more set of those. Full upper and lower body. Nice lengthen as you inhale. Exhale. Hands through to toes. Little crunch. Good. Inhale. Lengthen. Exhale. Little crunch. Good. Inhale. Lengthen. Exhale. Little crunch. Feel that Agni fire. Inhale. Lengthen. Exhale. Little crunch. Good. Inhale. Lengthen. Last one. Exhale to crunch. Good. Inhale. Lengthen to hover. 2, 1.5. And release. Well done. Take the arms down the side of the body. Nice big breath in. Expand the body. Expand the belly. Nice release inside to release. Nice big breath in. Nice release inside. So we're going to bring the knees into the body, round the back. So we're going to do a little rock and roll. We're going to do 3 rock and rolls up and down the spine. And then finally finding a balance on our bum. So bring the knees in, tuck the hands behind the knees, kick the feet up to the sky. Little rock, up to your bum, shoulders peel back. Round the back, rolling back. Rock back up, shoulders peel back. Heart forward, so flattening through the back, but round the back now to roll back. And roll up, shoulders peel back. Fingertips behind the knees maybe. Nice neutral spine here. We don't want to slouch and round. We want the heart forward and shoulders back. Maybe we release the hands. Maybe if we can keep a flat back, straighten the legs. It's up to you, it's your body. Breathe. That heart forward and the shoulders back. Cross the ankles. Hands down to the floor. Stepping, jumping, walking back into a nice little downward dog. So feet hip distance. Chest pressing back towards the back of the thighs. Little zip through the core. So that sternum, the base of the ribs. And suck the belly button to the spine. Again, even in your downward dog. Be mindful of that core engagement. Much of the hand in contact with the floor as possible. Shoulder blades rounding away from each other here. Going to inhale, roll forward to plank. Engage the core, so it's almost like air brakes here to hold into a nice plank. And then engage that, zip the core to the belly button, back to downward dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Engage the core to hold and stabilize. And then a little zip to lift back to downward dog. Good. Inhale, roll forward. Engage the core to hold. Zip the core in, downward dog. Inhale, roll forward, engage the core to hold. Little zip, lift your back into downward dog. I'm going to roll forward to plank, engage and hold. And then exhale, on or off the knees if you can. Lower through, chaturanga, all the way down to the floor. Good. Untuck the toes, make a little pillow for your head, turn the head off to the right. Take a nice breath in through the nose. Nice release inside. Nice breath in through the nose. And nice release inside. Good. Elbows down to the floor, directly beneath the shoulders. So we don't want the elbows flailing out to the side. We don't want them tucked in here. We don't want them extended out here. Just beneath the shoulders. Yeah. Tuck the toes. So we can do these on or off the knees, maybe coming up here. But again, that belly button to spine, that process of zipping the belly button towards the spine, to lift up, okay? If it's possible, take the knees off the floor and breathe. Pressing into the forearms, pressing into the hands. Nice engagement through the core. Feed the fire with the breath. Good, exhale, lower down to the floor. Make a pillow for your head, turn it off to the left, little shake of the hips if it feels good to release. Maybe staying in stillness. Feed the body, cleanse the body. Good. Unfortunately, I'm about to turn my back on you, but don't take it personally. So, my mat's shrinking as well. Elbows beneath the shoulders again. Dolphin plank. We're going to go into side plank as well from dolphin. So tuck the toes. Again, option to stay on your knees. If you're doing a side plank, you can roll on. If you're doing a supported, keep that right knee on the floor. Okay. If you're coming into full plank, tuck the toes together, zip the core, lift up. Okay, we're holding plank here for a couple of breaths first. And rolling onto the outside of the right foot, right hand comes across diagonally, left arm up to the sky. Push the hips forward and lift the hips away from the floor. So it's a straight line, shoulders, hips and heels on each plane. Good. Breathe. Maybe the gaze goes up to the top hand. Maybe that right knee's on the floor and the right foot's pointing behind the bum. Exhale, left elbow back to the floor, come back to neutral, breathe. Maybe you're on your knees here. Again, yoga's a practice, it's a progress. Maybe you're off your knees. Good. Rolling onto the left side, that left hand comes across 45 degrees. You can stack the feet, you can stagger the feet, you can drop the right foot behind, right hand up to the sky. Lots of variations for side plank. Just push the hips forward, lift the hips up. Maybe the gaze goes up to the top hand. Breathe. Good. Right elbow back to the floor. Square the forearms. Maybe you drop to the knees, breathe. Maybe you stay in plank. Good. Drop to the knees, lower to the floor. Make a pillow for your head. Send the gaze off to the left. If it feels good, a little shake of the hips. Good. You might just want to take a little look at what I'm going to do next because there's a couple of different variations. So toes together. Again, maybe staying on your knees here. I'm going to teach off the knees. Zip the core. Got a couple of options. Option one is rolling onto the right side and coming off that left elbow. Back to centre, off to the left, coming up off the right elbow. Okay, so we're creating space in the shoulders. Back to centre, off to the left. Left elbow comes up, off to the right, off to the left, sorry, right elbow comes up. See what I'm doing? Option, the deeper version, is twisting, keep both elbows on the floor. Keep the hips off the floor. Okay? Just rolling onto the outside of the feet. Okay. Forearms planted down on the floor. Toes together, tuck the toes. Tighter the feet are together, the easier it's going to be rock side to side. Okay? Zip the core, lift up. Rolling onto the right side. If we can, elbows both on the floor, if not, lift the left elbow. Back to centre, roll off to the left, maybe lifting the right elbow, maybe keeping it down. Back to centre, off to the right. Back to centre, off to the left. Keep breathing. Back to centre, off to the right. Back to centre, off to the left. You can drop to your knees. Back to centre, off to the right. One more off to the left, well done. Keep breathing. Back to centre, 2, 1, and release, well done. Little pillow for your head, little shake of the hips. I did say it's going to be hot. Come on, easy into the hotness of Yang. Good. Hands in line with the chest. We're going to come up to kneeling. Okay, so you're going to want a couple of blocks here. Well, you might not need a couple of blocks, you might be able to put your hands on the floor. I'm using blocks. I'm going to cross the ankles. You want the hips, the hands kind of in line with the thighs here. Okay, so we want to round the shoulder blades away from each other. And again, that zip, rather than belly button to spine going directly back, we're zipping the sternum up. We're going to be lifting. Okay, so press into the hands, strong through the shoulders, but zipping and engaging that core. Imagine you were acting and you've got a shot in the belly. That's what we're doing. We're getting that motion, that little zip. Okay, take a nice inhale. As you exhale, lift. Keep your feet on the floor, drop the knees back down. Exhale, zip and lift. Good. As high as you can go, zip and lift. Really contracting, strong through the abdominals, strong through the upper shoulder. We're pulling the shoulder blades away from each other, zipping, lift. Okay, over time, you might be able to get the feet off and drop down. But for now, you can zip, lift the knees, good. Zip, lift the knees, good. And one more, zip, lift the knees. And then take the feet through. Sit your bum down to the floor. We are going to roll down onto our back. So I said that we're going to do a deeper variation of the wipers that we did earlier after one of the Yin poses. You're either going to love me or hate me after this. Arms out to a T. Kind of crucifix position here. Palms face down will help with stability. You can do this leg straight, it's really intense. You can do it with legs bent to make it a little bit easier, more accessible. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to inhale, feet up, straight above the hips. We're going to exhale the feet down to hover. We're going to inhale, sweep the feet low towards the right hand. Again, bent knees is more accessible. Exhale back to centre. Inhale up. Exhale to hover. Stay low as you sweep off to the left. Back to centre. Inhale up the middle. And exhale down. Okay? So our feet aren't touching the floor. Straight legs or bent legs. Arms out to a T. Press the palms down into the floor. Going to inhale, lift the legs. Maybe the tailbone lifts up. Depends how strong your core is. Exhale, lower down to hover. Inhale, sweep off to the right. Stay low. Come back to centre. Inhale, zip up the middle. Exhale down. Inhale, sweep low off to the left hand. Back to centre, legs straight or bent. Inhale up the middle. Exhale down. Inhale, stay low to the right. Come back to centre on the exhale. Inhale, straight up the middle. Exhale down. Inhale, low to the left. Exhale back. Inhale, straight up the middle. Good. Exhale down. Hover. 2, 1, and release. Nice breath in through the nose. Nice release inside. Nice breath in. Nice release inside. Good. One more. Nice breath in. And nice release inside. We're going to do that one more time. Arms out to a T. Zip the belly button to the floor. Fire the spine. Point the toes. Nice rigidity through the legs. Bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, take the feet up. Good. Exhale, lower it. Stay low to the right as you inhale. Exhale, back to centre. Inhale, straight up the middle. Good. Exhale down. Inhale, off to the left. Exhale. Inhale, straight up the middle. Exhale down. Good. Keep breathing. Inhale, off to the right, to lower. Exhale back. Inhale, straight up the middle. Exhale down. Bend the knees if you need. Inhale, off to the left. Exhale, back to centre. Inhale, straight up the middle. Good. Exhale, lower down to hover. 2, 1, and release. Well done. Nice breath in to feed. Nice release inside to close. Nice breath in. Nice release inside. Let's walk the feet back towards the bum. Job done. Just going to open up through the front of the body. So reach the hands down, tickle the back of the heels where it's available. Take the hands away from the body, palms face up. So not in line with the shoulders, not right next to the hips, 45 degrees from centre line, halfway between the two there. Roll the shoulder blades together behind the back. Open up the heart space, compress the back. Take a nice inhale. As you exhale, press into the feet, engage the glutes. Drive the hips up to the sky. Chest to your chin, chin away from the chest. So opening up, we're relaxing the belly, relaxing the hip flexors, relaxing the quads, but strong through the back of the body. Exhale, release the hips down to the floor. Good. We got an option. Return to bridge, or bring the hands either side of the head, fingertips pointing towards the shoulders. If you're coming up into wheel pose, you can support hands and shoulders, you can support hands and head, you can come up onto the hands alone. Take a nice inhale. Try and keep the elbows roughly shoulder distance if you're coming into wheel. If you're coming into bridge, you know what you're doing, you just did it. Take a nice inhale. As you exhale, engage the glutes as you press into the feet. So maybe supported head and shoulders, hands and shoulders, sorry. Maybe supported hands and head. Maybe supporting hands and feet. Chin away from the chest, chest towards the chin. Whichever your bridge or wheel. Breathe. Good. Exhale under control. Releasing the hips and the body back to the floor. Arms out to a T. Drop the knees over to the right side. Nice energy pushing knees and shoulders towards the floor. Doesn't matter if they will touch. Option to lift the head and rotate the neck off to the left, but just an option before placing the head back down. Good. Knees back to centre. Release them off to the left side. Keep the shoulders and knees pressing towards the floor, aiming to get a right angle at the hips and then a right angle at the knees. You don't really want the feet tucked up behind the bum. Nice energy through the twist, maybe lifting the head and taking the gaze towards that right hand if it's available. Bring the knees back to centre. Bring them into the body. Maybe just the hands on the knees, nice flat back if that feels good. Maybe you want to round through the back. Give yourself a nice hug, maybe a little rock side to side. Release the feet to the end of the mat. You've got an option. Shavasana, straight legs, adjust the shoulders, maybe release the lower back a little bit here, arms out the side of the body. If you've got lower back issues, take the feet as wide as the mat, drop the knees together. Compress into the feet, lift the hips. Again, just flattening through the lower back so your spine is on the floor. Maybe that's more available if you've got lower back pain for your Shavasana. You can also lay on your side. You can even sit up if you really need to, if you really want to. Just close the eyes down, just softening the body, softening the mind. Little wiggle of the toes. If you want to release any tension, just flex and relax the muscles as you move up and through the body. Adjusting the hips, adjusting the shoulders, little wiggle of the fingers, little wiggle of the jaw. Softening the muscles around the eyes. Softening the muscles across the forehead. As the body softens and melts away, allow your mind to go. Allow your thoughts to simply evaporate. through the body. Taking a nice deep inhale in through the nose. Just release the sigh out through the mouth. Just release the practice. With the toes and the fingers, a nice gentle wind. Just allowing the head to roll off to the right side. A bit back to centre. And off over to the left. Comes back to the middle, take a nice inhale, stretch the arms up overhead, taking a nice long stretch, tips of the fingers all the way down to the tips of the toes, stretch, stretch, stretch. Place the left hand on the belly, bring the left knee towards the body, and roll over to the right side. I just didn't want to turn my back to you. So rolling onto the right side, just taking a moment here. Just keeping your eyes closed, coming up to a comfortable seated position. Hands to heart center. And down your back, which is thank you and namaste.